Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am excited again today to have Michael Houston on. This rarely happens, but in this case, this is our second conversation. The first one, we had some audio technical difficulties, and so we're going to be jumping back into an exciting episode here. Michael is a great human being, first and foremost. We're going to talk about, wait, hang on. It's Shower Pouch. There it is. Co-founder of Shower Pouch. He's also the president and CEO of Future Blue Group. Their mission is clear. Check out all the things they're doing over there. Deliver cutting-edge technical packaging solutions that drive cost reduction. Number one. Number two, elevate packaging aesthetics. Number three, improve the customer experience. Number four, integrate sustainability principles. You think he's done? No. Number five, optimize supply chain operations. And finally, accelerate market entry. Folks, we are going to have so much incredible stuff to talk about. Let's get going.
Hey, good evening or good morning or good afternoon. I don't know if that, do you say good afternoon? Yeah, that's a word. Whatever time you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. It's considered TV, right? I'm guessing. We're live on the YouTube. Live on the YouTube. Not in Belarus, though. Told. For paper, you have to flatten it before you recycle. I'm guessing they don't crush everything before they're collecting paper. Like 3D objects get routed away. If you leave your paper like a box, if you leave it assembled, the likelihood that it's going to be the back goes down.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to listen to the people of packaging. Michael, that jazz piano always gets me going. I'm not going to lie.
Bro, I mean, you had the intro. I mean, I was like, who is this guy you're introducing? Like, he sounds like he's about to start a TED Talk.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And see the evolution, mustache, no mustache. It's just
oh
awesome,
my gosh.
man.
And now I've found my good friend Andre, and Andre is he's here from Brazil, and he's my new, I got some tattoos. I'm working on a full sleeve here. So I was not in the I got to redo the intro, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Obrigado.
What's that?
Obrigado is thank you in Portuguese.
Oh,
the reason why I even know that I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and my professor, he's Brazilian. We always say os obrigado.
Yeah, I don't speak Japanese, so I apologize. I did get one tattoo that was like a total spur of the moment one, and it's a Denver Nuggets championship tattoo. And I just went across the street from my house. I was like, this is what I want. And the guy he spoke zero English. And in retrospect, Michael, I probably should have been like, I should probably go find someone who's going to speak English to permanently mark my body. But instead, I used Google Translate, and turned out it came out incredible. He did awesome work. It has 11 colors in it. It took a while, but I was super stoked on that. So that was not Andre. Andre speaks English. We actually know each other through church. So he's a guitar player at my church and a tattoo artist. Anyway, Michael Houston, my friend, thank you for joining the show here.
Thank you for having me. Super excited.
So when is your TED Talk?
Oh my gosh. If I can manifest it, hopefully in the next few years, when we hit a pivotal milestone with Shower Pouch and Future Blue Group at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an idea, but I would not be opposed to it. I have a good friend named Reed Harris who did one a few years back, and I know he crushed it. But yeah.
Well, I mean, not to brag, but I did a TED Talk. Marcus Houston was a football player for the I might call you Marcus. He played football at CU, or I might call you Alan after the great Tennessee Volunteer and New York Knicks basketball player. Michael, I was able to do a TED Talk actually about packaging.
That's awesome.
It was the hardest speaking event I've ever done, and I've preached. I do keynotes.
Yeah,
it was grueling. I'm glad I did it. It was 2020. It taught me a lot about public speaking, but man, if you can do it, do it. But they asked me to maybe do it a second one this year, and I was like, I don't have the time. I just can't commit the amount of time that's needed for a 9-minute talk. Is crazy.
I know there's a lot that goes into public speaking. A lot of people see it and they're like, oh my gosh, this individual is making it seem like it's just a fire chat conversation. They don't realize the background of preparing. I had an executive coach and who helped me and a few others in public speaking. And the thing that they that she taught us is like, remember the three foundational things that you want to speak about, right? And have a lot of passion behind it. But don't sound like you're a robot just speaking from a PowerPoint presentation. But if you have those three things, then you build around those three things and just let it flow because you
Mhm.
already have the core and just speak your truth. And ever since then, that's always been my approach. I try to make it look as natural as possible, but there is, as to your point, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
There's a lot, yeah. Well, where are you located? Are you I feel like you're in Southern California, is that correct?
Yeah, I am. Yep, I'm in Los Angeles. Been out here since 2011. Moved here from Atlanta, Georgia, and haven't looked back since.
Now I saw you I think we first met because you were on, a mutual friend of ours, Megan Young Gamble, who's got a tremendous podcast, a great consulting, firm. She just, had her first baby, so shout out to Megan.
Oh,
Um, did you know each other previous in Atlanta, or did you just connect through the packaging world?
through the packaging world, but we had mutual friends. She knew my sister. You know, Georgia is pretty small in certain circles, and that's how we kind of overlap. We had mutual
Okay.
friends that way, and then obviously the packaging and the power of LinkedIn. You know, the algorithm will quickly tell you probably know this person from first grade,
Yeah.
right?
She was the first person to tell me that I was not allowed to say Hotlanta.
Oh,
Uh, she's like,
yeah.
"This you can't see. We know that you that's please don't." I was
It's
like, "Okay."
implied. It's implied. It is actually should be muggy, hot, muggy. It just the humidity
Yes.
just takes you over.
No doubt.
Imagine taking a shower, stepping outside, and just being drenched again within less than 5 minutes. But
Yeah, that's how I feel every time I'm in the South. Well, speaking of, shower, nice transition. What in the HECK? Because 'cause I'm in Utah, so I gotta keep it PG for the kids. What is shower pouch?
oh my gosh, so it's a product that me and my business partner, his name's Omar Jimenez, we developed back in 2016. We developed a hygiene solution to address a need that resonated for both him and I. For myself, my father was stationed. He's a retired naval officer. He was stationed in Afghanistan at Camp Leatherneck, and he calls me up one day while I'm working at Johnson and Johnson. He said, "Son, can you make something better than a baby wipe? Because that's all we have access to out here." And you can imagine if you're going from one forward operating base to the other, you're locked in these vehicles, doors are shut, and you're smelling everyone's body odor,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Some more pleasant than others or less. And I sat with that problem statement for a couple of years, trying to like, I'm pretty sure there's another product on the market, right? Fast forward, uh, Omar Jimenez and I are working together at a company called Beachbody, and
Mm.
I shared with him while we were in Salt Lake City having watered down beer because it's you can't have it that strong.
It's
While
getting a
we're
little better.
very,
Getting a
it's
little
getting a
better
little
as
better,
previous was, but yeah, I mean, I just bought some
and
beer from, folks over at Uinta. You can go to the place, like, to the brewery and buy
right, right.
any but if you're at a bar I learned that actually when I was traveling here. I want you to get to the story, but we went out to karaoke, and I had a beer,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Hey, you're gonna go sing?" And I'm like, "I don't know what's in this beer, but I'm pretty sure it's not alcohol, and I'm not prepared to go sing karaoke." Just I got 0 liquid courage right now.
You would have to down it
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Okay, so
Um,
you're in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Salt Lake City, having a beer. I wish it was karaoke. It would have lightened it up a little bit more. But Omar and I are chatting, and I shared with him my father's problem statement and the idea of like, I can't find a product, but I know I can make this, but I don't know formulation. Omar is a fabulous chemist, really into like Eastern medicine, into natural ingredients. And he shares with me he had a very similar situation, not like my father, but for him, his mother was in hospice, and all they had were these hospital wipes, and he just felt like it did not give her the cleanliness that she needed. It made her feel sticky. It didn't give her the um, kind of the respect she needed during this part of her journey. Um, so we both put our brains together and said, "Hey, how can we solve this for this type of individual? Whether you're, you know, in the military, in a foxhole, or, you're in the hospital, even thinking about a soccer mom or dad dealing with stinky kids after a soccer game and wanting to go grab food at your local Olive Garden, right? All you can eat bread. So we were like, hey, this is a problem statement. We can solve it between the two of us, a chemist, a packaging engineer who works in nonwovens and understand film manufacturing, et cetera. Let's put this together. And we worked on it. And we actually formally launched a product in 2016 and haven't looked back since.
As a father of an 18-year-old basketball and football player, I can tell you there's a pretty good sized market for that. I was actually even just thinking about this because like I'm going to Colorado and he is playing he's playing in a basketball tournament, and then two of his friends and my daughter have to leave the tournament and then drive back to Salt Lake, which is like 7.5 hours. And I was like, man, my daughter, because they're not going to be like, how are they going to shower? I don't. So is this the problem that you solve? Like,
this is the solution. We stand behind only one wipe will clean you from head to toe. Part of there's 2 parts. It's 2 foot by 1 foot, long enough to clean the center of your back. You can break it up in parts. I always tell everyone, start from the top down, not the other way around. No armpits to the face, no bottoms to the face. And then 2, we leverage a particular nonwoven that I call it the ShamWow of body wipes. Highly absorbent, right? It can hold over 50 grams of formula, more than enough. And just like any engineer, you always want to figure out what is the least amount of material to achieve your objective. Anything overage, you're basically giving free product away.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how we landed on the size. We wanted to make sure that it was a durable good that did not fit within the linear economy of make, use, and destroy. So technically, you can repurpose it. We actually have printed on the package that you could wash it with your dirty clothes. It's literally a ShamWow cloth, right? It's an engineered woven that you can use to do whatever you want, clean your floors, or potentially put it back and turn it back into like a shower pouch 2.0. And then lastly, we wanted to set it up so any individual, if they wanted to heat it up on the go, they have the ability to do that. So there was nothing on the market that addressed that. And when you have 2 brilliant scientists that live and breathe in the CPG world, we went out and executed, identified the contract manufacturers, the materials, and brought it to market.
All right. So my last question on the shower pouch, because now you got me intrigued. And then I want to talk about future. We'll take a break, and then I think the break will provide us with some nice content to talk about what you're doing at Future Blue Group. But let's pretend like today is Wednesday. How fast if I order a few of these, would they show up? Is this like an Amazon Prime thing, or like what?
Yeah, we're on Amazon Prime. I can ship it from my home to you. How about that?
But I like to support people.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to ensure that you get it quickly, Amazon Prime would be great. You can go through our website, theshowerpouch.com, to get it as well. And I'll make sure if anything, I think you should get the adventure kit because it has the hand sanitizer and our deodorant spray, which we call our shareable deodorant. You wouldn't share a deodorant stick, but you will share a spray. But yeah, I would definitely.
Man, look at you guys. Is this it? This is
yeah.
Wow. This is you right here, right?
Boom. That is it. 4.7 stars. It was 4.8. I don't know what happened. You can't make everyone happy, but
what? Okay. So if I get a 5-pack, it's reusable,
heatable.
It's made from bamboo.
Well, that's the scent. We use natural fragrances. Yeah. So we have bamboo, cucumber, unscented for our hunters, as well as citrus.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. All right.
No, I appreciate it.
I will I'll get a pack of 5 and ship them to Colorado so that we can make that drive a little bit less stinky. Well, here's the deal, Michael. Let's that's super cool. I don't even think we covered that on the last time we talked, so I'm glad we got to do this. Let's jump to a break hear from a couple of sponsors, and then we come back. We're going to talk about Future Blue Group and all the work that you're doing for CPG brands. We'll be right back here on the People of Packaging podcast with Michael Houston.
Are you tired of managing your specs in spreadsheets, PDFs, or relying on suppliers to do it for you? Learn how SpecRite can help you digitize and take control of your product and packaging specifications to drive sustainability reporting, SKU rationalization, and better collaborate across departments and with your suppliers. Go to SpecRite.com to learn more.
Have you ever wondered, how do I reduce my carbon footprint? Should I focus on recycled content or reducing weight first? Which design strategies are the most effective for my products? Triac offers multiple solutions for lifecycle assessment, goals management, reporting, EPR fees, and more. Visit triac.com to connect with our team and register for a free 10-day trial of EcoImpact Compass to get started today.
And Michael, in the amount of time that it took for us to listen to those wonderful ads from SpecRite and Triac, I got my order placed and it's delivering on Friday. So that's how fast you can get a shower pouch. Michael, let's talk about, and I think you'll probably get into a little bit of your history. You've already mentioned a couple of companies, J&J, Beachbody. I know you've got a really robust background that I think plays into what you're doing now at Future Blue Group. So you can start with either the future blue or the present Future Blue, or your past and what kind of led you into it.
Awesome. Before I do, I just want to give a quick shout out because you mentioned Triac, and that is the tool that I go to when you talk about presenting compelling business cases for what direction you should move a brand in terms of material usage, depending on their positioning on sustainability. Triac has definitely have come through for me and the clients that I support. But answering your question, I'll probably start from the past because it's a good segue into like how I got to the future and the ability to pivot and decide to become an entrepreneur at the same time, starting my own package consulting company. So I graduated from a great university called Tuskegee University in Alabama, a historically Black college and university, known for the Tuskegee Airmen and George Washington Carver. He wasn't a peanut scientist, right? He was a scientist. Yeah. And I
love all those parts of history that like
exactly
just get told to you over and over again, and then you grow up and you get the internet and you're like, wait a second.
Oh my gosh. So I want to move quickly on this one. Okay, so Tuskegee University, was interning with Procter & Gamble. When I graduated in 2004, worked for them in, they call it the snacks and beverage industry, global business unit. So it was Pringles, Sunny Delight, Folgers Coffee. As you can imagine, that business unit got sold off. So I did that, moved to Atlanta, worked for the Clorox company, where I went from doing packaging R&D to now working on like packaging on the operations side for a manufacturing plant and supporting categories. Met a young lady. She was from LA. There's a whole bunch that happened between that, but long story short, she wanted to move to LA, back to LA, and I took a job with Johnson & Johnson, where I worked on Neutrogena. And I launched their very first like PCR recycled components, and to be able to quantify, we won like it's called CEW award. Did that, then moved over to Beachbody. This is when I started pivoting over to like small businesses and really like helping them frame out like the stuff that you had the playbooks for all the big CPG companies. For them, it's like, wow, this is novel. It's like, no, this is what traditional CPG companies will approach, like product development and execution going to market. Did that for a while. Then I had an opportunity to go over to Unilever and work with their merge acquisition brands of beauty. So it's called Murad. You had Dermalogica, Kate Somerville. And then I got poached by The Honest Company with Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
And did a lot of great stuff there, helped them get to a point where they IPO'd. Then went over to Ritual Company. I mean, a lot happened. This is a span over 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And then Ritual Company and Supplement
jobs every 6 months, just so everybody.
No. And each one was like a huge growth in the career and learning, obviously the technical piece as well as management piece, and having a stronger business acumen about how all pieces come together when you're launching a product, and all that stuff gave me the courage to then launch, everything with Shower Pouch. And then at some point, I decided to pivot and move on and do my own thing and help brands, because I realized I had more of a passion in sustainability and packaging than I did with being a people manager, if that makes sense, right? Like helping people develop and grow. But the science is what I fell in love with. And as
Mm.
you grow your career and you become, these higher levels in organizations, it take you away from the thing that you had the most passion for. So yeah, that's how Future Blue Boot came about. And we've been basically in business a little over a year and a half. And I'm just so appreciative of the power of like networking through LinkedIn, social media, cold calling, still be able to pick up the phone and call people just to say hello. And all the clients I've had up to this point has been through that network. And it's just
Mhm.
been awesome to be able to to be able to provide instantaneous value.
Yeah. So on that front, I guess, who are some like industries or I guess what are some industries where you're really finding a lot of success as a consultant with Future Blue Group? If somebody were to watch this, like if you work in one of these industries and you hit me up, like I'm feeling super confident that I'm be able to, excuse me,
Yeah. No, I get it. I
my
get it.
throat here. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can do something with them.
Yeah, I would say in the CPG world where I have a lot of strength and folks have seen the value I bring is definitely like in the supplement space. Because that is a space where most people are using stock packaging,
Hmm.
films, labels to think through the product concept and how do you get it to market as quickly as possible, ensuring that you have the stability requirements to keep it shelf stable. There's so many different inputs for that. And I would say, secondly, personal care slash prestige. That is such a complicated platform of materials and formulations that if you just work with an industrial, again, I'm not against industrial designers, you come up with a really pretty image, but you don't think through shelf stability, manufacturability, or we call in engineering design for manufacture, DFMA, you can set things, awry and potentially failure, right? So though I would say those are like kind of the two categories that I flourish, but I can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because obviously your location and your background is going to drive a lot of your network, and
Yeah.
you may as well lean into the stuff that you really know well. I heard you say something interesting. We'll call him a friend. Yeah, we'll call him a friend. Avelio. We go Avelio Matos. We're on packaging today all the time. And he's of this belief that labels are not packaging. And I think that we just need to set the record straight right now. As a 20 plus year industry vet, do you consider labels as part of packaging?
Oh my gosh. Labels are a package. Just like if I were to talk about blow molding, right? You have co-extruded multi layers that defines a bottle. A label can come in metallized polyester, um, all different structure forms. They have different OTR and WVTR values if you want to look at them that way.
Mhm.
I would put labels in the same category as films,
See,
right?
see,
They're multi
please
they're
go
they're
off. I'm
multi-dimensional.
just gonna let you cook for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can print on them, you can rotogravure, you can flexo, digitally print. It's it's no different than flexible films. Just one you can actually turn into an enclosed container, or one you can actually apply via different forms of adhesives to apply onto your component. But
Come on,
it is.
Evelio. I hope you heard that because Michael is better than you, and he knows more than you do. So you just have to start trusting. If you don't, you have to trust me.
Hey, I would
Just
say ask spec right. When I was at
yeah.
Honest Company, we built component specifications that were labels. They were component specifications. Any regulatory or quality team will treat them as a packaging component.
Yeah,
If
I think
not, where would it fall in within your bill of material?
yeah, I think he's just giving me a hard time, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
just doesn't want to admit it.
yeah.
Well, hey, as we are, that went fast. See the time? Holy cow!
Wow.
Um, so maybe a couple of we'll go with some like rapid fire here,
Yeah.
and then I want to give you a chance to cover anything we missed. Number one, somebody is new trying to get into packaging, what's one thing that you would or maybe a couple things you'd recommend that they do?
Learn as much about material science and the manufacturing process of those materials. You can
Oh,
speak more intelligently on them. You can have more empathy when you talk through project timelines. But just being a formal, somewhat of a generalist, and then you leverage your key experts, you will have more compassion, understanding on how things are made.
Um, if you could wave a magic wand and fix any problem related to CPG packaging, what's one problem that you'd fix?
And I don't have an answer to this today, but there's always been a war on plastic.
Hmm. You don't have to have
What
the answer. You can just
You
wave the
don't
wand.
have to, like, a substitute for plastic. I'm not opposed to plastic. I think if it's designed with the terminal outcome of being repurposed and go back into the circular economy, I think is great. Um, but if there was a substitute for plastic that we can magically create and has all the attributes that we love, low carbon input, input, infinitely recyclable, you know, fairly cost effective, but I don't know what that is today, and I don't have a
Yep.
substitute. But there's so much in that space that provides benefits to the consumer, extended shelf life, health. You know, it's used in surgeries, etc.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You can't.
yeah,
But we just had this conversation about like, microplastics have just like come into the news again. Like it's a new
yeah,
thing. Um, and it's like, well, what's the substitute?
hmm
And even, even aluminum, it's like, oh, aluminum. I'm like, well, it's lined with plastic. So I don't
yeah.
know, especially for beverage, it's like there's just it-
It's
shower applications, that kind of stuff, lotions. It's like there's
no. I tell people the milk carton that you have in your refrigerator. There's one, I won't say their name, but they said, "Hey, we're plastic free," and I was like, well, one, you do have plastic, it's lined with plastic. And then two, there's actually foil that's, put down the middle layer of it to keep it shelf
mm,
stable. But there's a lot of stuff in that beyond just paper. But the
yeah,
average consumer would have no clue.
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even I got into a little spat online with the CEO of Liquid Death because I dissolved an aluminum can and showed the plastic on the inside of it. I'm like, it's not big.
No, it has to be lined.
You have to line it. It's not.
Yes.
We shouldn't be sad about that. You don't.
No.
I think I even said on the internet, which I'll say again, like you don't want your water raw dog in the aluminum. Like you're just, it's gonna go.
It is.
It's gonna go bad for your water and for your own health. You're glad that
Exactly.
it's there. It's the
Mhm.
aluminum can condom, I guess. Um,
Right.
it's a crude image. Okay, so I'm gonna have one more question, but I want to turn the floor over to you. What is there anything? I guess I have two more questions because this is technically a question. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you're like, oh man, I was really excited to talk about this? Doesn't even have to be on topic. We can just be a hard pivot, and then I'll ask my last question.
Um, I would say there's a war on so many different materials, and sustainability is such a subjective subject. If any brand is listening, I would say be clear what your definition of sustainability is. Is it compostability? Is it recyclability? Is it, a durable good that you use forever and we provide this shipping apparatus that is compostable? Whatever that is, be clear with it. But if you're all over the place, it's hard to quantify what your environmental impact is. I
Mm.
am a firm believer of trying to reduce our CO2 emissions. So as you think through materials that are being chosen, try to choose materials that are low impact. And the best way to do it, obviously, Track is a software that I promote. I mean, you got Blueberry, you got a few others, but do the due diligence to understand why you're recommending what you're recommending. Let it be science-based versus this, greenwashing or gut feel.
I love that.
Yeah.
I learned this application actually going through my master's work in seminary as a pastor. And I know it's
Mhm.
a different kind of thing, but we did this process called exegesis. And with exegesis, you start with a foundation of what is the first question is, what can I observe, or what is objectively true? In this case, it was about this passage in the Bible, and it was really boring stuff like he is a pronoun, he is referencing God, or whatever it was. And it was like you just wrote down really boring stuff that's just data that's objectively verifiably true. And I think the same thing about sustainability, right? You nailed it. That's why I love talking about SpecRite and Triac and other places that just get to the foundation of data. Because once you have a firm foundation, now you can begin to build out, like you said, okay, we really want to focus on compostability. Great. You got to get to the data first if you're going to focus on that. You got to understand what your gap is. You got to, so I love hearing you say that. Well, my last question for you, Michael, and then I'm going to let you go. What is the best way for people to get a hold of Michael Houston, CEO and co-founder of the Future Blue Group and Shower Pouch, which I'm excited to have shipped to my home this Friday?
Awesome. Yeah, I would say the best way, obviously, all our social media platforms are at Shower Pouch. LinkedIn is my name, Michael Houston. You can find us also Future Blue Group, Shower Pouch. Best email would be michael.houston@futurebluegroup.com. All things packaging and sustainability. But yeah, that is it. I'm very easy to be found. Believe it or not, I believe in customer service so much. On our shower pouches and all our packaging, I put my personal cell number on there. So you could contact me that way because that's the number one product we sell first before anything else is customer service.
I love it. And with that, Michael, we will end the show. Thanks so much for coming on. Everybody, make sure that you like or subscribe, or you know what, if you don't like it, then just shoot me an email or something like that, and I'll try to do better next time. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate you.
Thank you. God bless. Cheers.